Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice as we talk about everything that's happened in the past week for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Now obviously this past week we had a Fan First Tuesday. Not really going to cover that too much because, to be honest, I'm tired of talking about it. And if you've been on anything Power Rangers related online over the last couple of days on Twitter, Ranger Board, YouTube, even 4chan, it's been pretty unanimous that the vast majority of the fandom absolutely hated this event, as did I. For very valid reasons, but we do have a couple tiny updates to talk about that have happened since then, and also some stuff that happened that had nothing to do with the Fan First Tuesday, and that's what we're going to cover today, so let's go and get right on into this. Alright, so we're going to just go ahead and start right with it with the stuff we have to talk about that has anything to do with the Fan First Tuesday. So first of all, basically, the Power Sword is kind of the big thing to talk about. So when I did my whole recap of it and everything, this was still in the time frame where the Power Sword was up for $25 on Hasbro Pulse, which obviously was not going to be honored by them in any capacity. There was no way they were going to honor $25 for a $220 at retail price item. Wasn't going to happen. And not long after I did my video, that exact thing happened. They canceled all of the orders on Hasbro Pulse for it. Now what's interesting is that there's actually a thing you can kind of see. I don't exactly know how to do it, but I mean it's not that hard. But you can actually see, like in the source code of a website, or for Pulse specifically, how much of a certain item that they have to like allow you to order. So like I think for the Power Sword there was like 2,000 of them up or something that they made available to order. And by the time that they like fixed the error, only like 100 something of them had sold, so there was like 150 or so orders that actually got through on the wrong price, so they canceled that many. It definitely seemed like a lot, but I guess it was just that first batch. But basically, it got so bad that they canceled everybody's orders for the Power Sword, and they took the entire listing down off of Pulse, and they put it right back up for the corrected price of $220. So basically, if you go to Hasbro Pulse and you click on the new tab, and it shows you all the pre-orders for Transformers and Power Rangers from that day, the Power Sword is like way away from the rest of the Power Rangers stuff because it just had to be re-put up there. So while they fixed the price point, they did not fix the Power Lance mention in the description. So they do still technically leak the Power Lance as coming, even though we already know that it is. But that's just fun stuff with the Power Sword. And since then, it's gone up on other websites. Of course, it's on GameStop, Entertainment Earth, and such. Now, GameStop actually has it listed for a July 1st release, while Pulse and a lot of other places have it listed for an October 1st release. I'm more inclined to believe the GameStop release price because GameStop has a release date, because GameStop has historically been getting things pretty considerably earlier than other retailers, like the Zed helmets and Deluxe Wave 1 and Wave 11 or Wave 10 and stuff like that. So I would probably get it from GameStop, and also GameStop has collectibles sales all the time, so I would definitely, be on the lookout for that. I will say this, after my original $25 order was canceled, I still have yet to pre-order the sword. I am getting the sword because it's a Lightning Collection item and I have to, but I am not going to be getting it just yet. I don't need it yet, and I'm going to wait for it to go on sale before I actually pick it up. And also to point out something from the event that I honestly did not notice until I was listening to Ranger Command Power Hour, and one of their commenters mentioned it, and then they brought it up. The Draken helmet has been wrong this entire time. I don't know how I didn't notice this, but Draken's actual design has like these 4 red eyes on the helmet, like 2 right here, and there's like 2 little ones up there. And while those 2 little ones up there are like molded in, they're not painted on the helmets, which is something we could see on all the press photos, and also when Bill was attempting to put it on during the Fan First Tuesday. I don't know how I didn't notice that, but for a $130 helmet, pretty disappointed that those are not painted. But, that's just kind of what this line does at this point. So next up for this week, we have to talk about the Power Pop Art variants for Walmart. So we've actually started to see them pop up a lot more at Walmarts across the country. People have actually been finding them individually, not in that big box set. We haven't seen that pop up just yet. But basically, if you had not, gotten them from Hasbro Customer Care as part of like a replacement for an item or something, like a lot of people were getting them as, they are now actually in Walmart stores like they're supposed to be. However, there's still problems with that. Some people have been trying to buy them, and they ring up on the scanner as the $100 4-box set of them. So they've been trying, some Walmarts are trying to sell them for $100 per box, which is not correct. They're supposed to be just a typical Lightning Collection price point. And I don't know if that big box set's actually going to be in stores, or if that's just going to be a Walmart exclusive, or Walmart.com exclusive, especially since Hasbro has never announced that box set of 4. I have no idea. exactly what's going on with that. But basically, you can buy them individually at Walmart's. So now that people have been finding them, of course, because why not? Lunar Wolf has to come up again. That's right, Lunar Wolf is making another appearance on Lightning Storm because there is a 5th variant of this damn figure out in the wild. So basically, people have actually found now Lunar Wolf is also available in a 6-stripe silver boot version of the Power Pop Art box, which, you know, is nice because that's the most corrected version of the figure, but that's now also in a Power Pop Art box, which means there's now there's 2 different versions of it in a Power Pop Art box. So let's go ahead and recap how many versions of this figure that there are. So you have the 5-stripe white boot one, which is the most inaccurate one, but is also the way Hasbro originally advertised it, and that one is only available in a regular box so far. Then we have the 6-stripe white boot one, which is half correct, which is available in both Power Pop Art and regular box. Then you have the most corrected version of the figure, 6-stripe silver boot, available in both boxes as well, for a total of 5 different versions you can possibly find. So far, I have 3 of those versions. I have all of them in the regular box, and I have one Power Pop Art one on pre-order in that big 4-pack. Don't know which version of it I'm going to get. Now, technically, there still could be 5-stripe white boot versions of it in a Power Pop Art box. We haven't seen that yet, and we gotta complete the whole saga of them now. You know, the 2 trilogies of variants, right? Just find a 6-stripe silver boot of both versions. Hopefully you haven't bought the figure by now and you can just find the corrected version now that it is out in both different boxes. None of these figures, not any of the 5 variants, actually have a holster. He's never getting a holster until they re-release him in a couple of years in a 2-pack or something. Then he'll be fully corrected from the get-go. But right now there's 5 different versions of it to find. And just find the one you want. I'm crazy and I'm gonna get all 5, but that's a me problem. Don't do that. Just find the one you want in the kind of box that you want, and good luck. So the rest of the show this week, we're going to be talking about Target. So first up, let's talk about the Tyrannosaurus Sentry. Not out in Target yet in the US, unfortunately, but it is a Target exclusive figure, and we do got to talk about it again. So last Saturday, we got to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of it being up on pre-order, or being, you know, stuck in pre-order limbo here in the US. And it's been released, you know, Canada, the UK, bunch of different countries around the world. But once again, it is actually in stock right now on Hasbro Pulse UK, at least at the time of this video it is. So unfortunately they don't ship to the US, but hey, if you're in the UK and you still don't have it yet, or you want to army build it or something and just kind of, you know, laugh at us over here because we don't have the figure yet, and you know, you're right to do that, since there's a lot of figures that the UK does not get that we do get, so this is the one opportunity where they can look at us and laugh. So yeah, the Tyrannosaurus Sentry is still not out here, but out everywhere else, and it's just pretty easy to find there. In like Canada, there's been numerous Toys R Us's that just have like 10 of them on a shelf, and we just can't even get a single one of them. But that's the Tyrannosaurus Sentry for you. But speaking of Target over here in the US, you know what we have finally? Ninja Pink. So the first of the ninjas have started to be found in the United States. So I've seen a couple different reports of this happening in like California and in Ohio. It definitely seems to be like it's only Ninja Pink so far, and specifically it seems to be her in like an entire case of 8. I've seen that kind of be how it is. Like you just find all, you know, an entire shelf case of them. So I haven't found any of that yet, but what I did find is our next story, and kind of the one that will be in the thumbnail and stuff, the one that wrap up the show, and that is in Space Blue with the Galaxy Glider, because we got to talk about that one again. So at Hasbro PulseCon 2021, there was 2 figures that had glaring issues, and we talked about this on the show. We've talked about it back when it happened. We talked about it so many times before. We just talked about it 2 stories ago with the Lunar Wolf Ranger. So the Lunar Wolf Ranger got the most spotlight. Because when you watch the interviews with John Warden and stuff like that, that like, you know, Toku Chris had and Hassan Ahmed had and everything like that, you got to see, you know, the whole thing where John Warden and the other John were talking about how they caught the errors on the Galaxy Glider with the X, and they caught the errors on the Lunar Wolf Ranger with the stripes on the boots, and they were going to be able to fix them. And then when both of those products came to the actual shelves, you know, consumers actually had them, none of those problems were fixed initially. But then as more time went on, we saw 5 different versions of the Lunar Wolf Ranger that slowly but surely got it correct. Now, For the other product, the In Space Blue with the Galaxy Glider, that one only had one problem, and that was the symbol, the Mega Ranger In Space logo on the front of the glider being a big X instead of the V symbol, or as John Warden called it, the weird envelope symbol. So that one was not corrected, and that one seemed to be never getting corrected. However, it is. So basically about 3 days ago, somebody walked into a Target, and this was posted up on Reddit, and they found an In Space Blue with a Galaxy Glider on the shelf with the corrected symbol. And then more and more people started saying, hey, I walked into Target and I found it. I did too. So I walked into one of my Targets, so I went home for the weekend, obviously. And on the way home, I'm like, Dad, we're going to stop at a Target. And I did, and I found both of them with the corrected symbol. So they had two of them on the shelves, and I bought both of them. One to keep for myself, and then a friend of mine was like, hey, if you're still there, I need the corrected symbol. So one of these is for my friend. So I'm not buying two just for myself. I already have one of this figure. I technically have 3 of them right now. So if you saw on the channel a couple weeks ago, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, I got In Space Blue with the Galaxy Glider from GameStop, which had the messed up symbol. So my review has it with the X on it. And so I wanted one that it's actually correct. And of course I also reviewed Piranha's Head this past week. So I haven't seen any reports of Piranha's Head popping up in stores, just In Space Blue with the Galaxy Glider. But yeah, guys, they did it. They fixed it. So let me try to get a better look at it, or a better zoom in on it or whatever. So you can see it there. Let me just point right at it. It is fixed. It is the V symbol that it's supposed to be. The back of the box still advertises it to be the X. So I'm slowly but surely finding all of the corrected versions of all these products. I don't have my other Lunar Wolves yet, but I have been able to secure a 6-stripe white boot and also a 6-stripe silver boot Lunar Wolves. So those should be here soon. And I'm going to do videos on those ones just to show them off. And I will probably show this off in one of the videos. I'm not going to do its own dedicated video because the figure's the exact same. It's just a little fix on the glider. So, yeah, that's definitely interesting. The problem with this is the fact that, and it's the same thing with Lunar Wolf, I'm very happy that it's fixed, absolutely. I'm annoyed that that the fixed version was found 6 days after I got the messed up version. Like, it was such a close window of time. But how I am with Lightning Collection stuff, I want to get every single version of everything that was released. And these are technically like 2 different versions for me. And I had a Target gift card, so I just used it on this. I didn't feel like I actually really wasted too much money trying to buy a second one of these. And also, in my mind, I can kind of justify it because, like, the more In Space Blues I have, the closer I have to a 5-of-a-kind display. Not anything I would have ever wanted to do willingly, but kind of just ended up doing accidentally. So, but I'm stopping here. I'm not going to get 2 more In Space Blues. I love TJ. I don't need 3 of them. I definitely don't need 5 of them. But yeah, it is real. There is versions of it out there that are fixed. These are both fixed ones. I don't know how well it's coming across on the screen, but they are. They're both fixed. My messed up one with the X is up at my dorm right now, so I don't have that to show. But basically, you're going to have to try to find them in stores, because if you order it online, you're not going to have any way of knowing if you're going to get an X or you're going to get a V. It definitely seems like the proper V ones are popping up more and more, just like the In Space, or just like the silver stripe. Oh wow, the 6-stripe silver boot Lunar Wolf, that one's becoming more of the abundant one. So I will say this right now, since I talked so much crap to Hasbro about these problems with these 2 releases, I will say, just genuinely, thank you. Thank you for genuinely fixing these products like you said you were going to. I somewhat apologize for giving you guys so much crap about, and like bringing up the clips and like showing them and being like, they lied to us. Because they did fix the stuff. The problem of the matter is, or the fact of the matter is the fact that these never should have been problems in the first place. There definitely should not be 5 variations of the Lunar Wolf Ranger, and technically it's 3 variations because 2 of them are just in a different box. So it's technically 3 different variations of the actual figure, and then In Space Blue with the glider, it's just 2 variations out there. But it just, like I said earlier, it makes it very hard for people who buy off of online stuff, because I know that's a pretty big... I mean, I know there's a lot of people who, you know, go to a physical store to get it because, like, you know, they're inbox collectors or they just want to pick out the best paint apps and stuff. I've always bought Lightning Collection stuff online. I very rarely get Lightning Collection stuff in stores, like tonight, because I just bought these like 2 hours ago. This is like one of the only times I've ever bought something in a store, because I knew I needed to do that if I was going to get the right version. So... like I said, I'm happy that they fixed it. I genuinely am. Thank you for, you know, actually listening to us, catching the mistake, and fixing it. but at the same time, never should have been a problem, and the RON versions never should have made it to stores at all. And the fact that they did is annoying. So, you know, if you're a collector, I have no idea which versions are going to be like the rarest ones. I figure I'm going to open the 6-stripe Silver Boot Lunar Wolf because it's the most correct one and I want that one on my display. And I've already opened my 5-stripe White Boot because that's the one that I did my video review on. But I'm not going to open up my 6-stripe White Boot because I just have no reason to do that. And I'm not going to open up the Power Pop Art variants of either of them. And then this one I'm going to open because this one's correct and it's going to go on display. And then the one with the X is just going to go in a box. So, but yeah, basically, it is corrected. So if you do want to find it or check your local Targets for it, you can. I do believe it's also available on Target.com, and I think it will let you see which Targets have it or not. 50-50, I would say. If you order it from Target.com, you might get the corrected one. I've seen some people actually be sent to the corrected one from Target.com, but I can't guarantee that they're all going to be correct if you order it online. So you might just want to go in stores to really make sure that you get the version that you're actually looking for. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this week's episode of Lightning Storm. Of course, until next time, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. What did you think of everything we talked about this week? Are you happy that if you don't already have the glider within Space Blue, are you happy you waited so you can get the proper version? Which version of Lunar Wolf have you found out there? Did you have luck buying the Power Pop Art variants if you found them? And of course, we can still talk some shit about the Fan First Tuesday. I'm always down to complain about the Fan First Tuesday. So, yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. And until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR. And I'll see you all on Lightning Storm. The series of lightning always strikes twice.